ഗ്രന്ഥങ്ങളാണ്. പക്ഷേ ഈ വിവേക ചൂടാമണി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ശരിക്കും ആദിശങ്കരൻ തന്നെ എഴുതിയ ഗ്രന്ഥമാണ്. കാരണം അത്രയ്ക്ക് വേദാന്തം കുറുക്കി വച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന ഗ്രന്ഥമാണ് വിവേക ചൂടാമണി. വേദാന്തത്തിന്റെ സർവ്വ ഉപനിഷത്തുകളുടെയും സാരാംശം ഈ വിവേക ചൂടാമണിയിൽ അദ്ദേഹം അല്പ വാക്കുകൾ കൊണ്ട് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ വിവേക ചൂടാമണി ആരംഭിക്കുന്നത് മനുഷ്യന്റെ ജന്മത്തിന്റെ ആ ശ്രേഷ്ഠത, മനുഷ്യത്വവും നരജന്മമായി കിട്ടിയിട്ടും വേദാന്തം പഠിക്കാനുള്ള അവസരം ഉണ്ടായിട്ടും സദ്ഗുരുക്കന്മാരെ ഒക്കെ കിട്ടിയിട്ടും ഈ സത്യത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് ചിന്തിക്കാത്തവൻ നരാധമനാണ് എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടിയിരിക്കുന്ന അവസരം എല്ലാവർക്കും, നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ എല്ലാവർക്കും അവസരം തന്നിരിക്കുന്നു. പക്ഷെ കുറച്ചുപേര് മാത്രമേ ആ അവസരം ഉപയോഗിച്ച് തൻ്റെ ജന്മസാഫല്യം വരുത്തുന്നുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ ആ ശ്ലോകങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ച് വിളിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഇൻവൈറ്റ് Paramananda Giriji. He is the Acharya of Tattvamasi Ashramam in Haridwar. He has studied in Kailasa Ashramam under the great Vidyananda Giri and other pontiffs. So he is a great scholar of Advaita. So I invite Paramananda Giri to deal with that.
Sada Shiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Vande Guru Parampara Vande Guru Parampara. Om Namo Narayana to all the Swamis, Acharyas present here, and to all the devotees and the mothers, is Supreme Narayana Smaran. Our 10th pontiff of Kailasha Ashram used to say, Supreme Narayana Smaran means a loving memory or remembrance of Lord Narayana may always remember with you. So the text which we are going to start today, and which we'll be speaking about it today, as Dr. Saju has said in his introduction, the text is Viveka Chudamani. It is one of the primary Prakarana Grantha. You see, Prakarana Grantha, when we talk about, it is just like a foundation to understand the Prasthanatraya. In the morning sessions, you have heard about Kathopanishad, Brahma Sutra, Adhyasa Bhashyam. I am sure there were many technical terms which many of you may not have understood. The reason for that is, first, during learning the path of Vedanta, you have to learn the Prakarana Grantha. If I ask you, how strong is the building? It can easily be said that the foundation, as strong as the foundation is, so strong the building is. So Prakarana Granthas act like a foundation to understand this Prasthana. You may feel, you may see when you read Prasthanatraya, Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, etc., that these are very easy to understand. Because literally you think that you are able to understand the meaning of those words. So you think that you are understanding what Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji or what our Vedas wanted to convey, what it wanted to say. But when you study the Prakarana Granthas, then you will understand the depth of it. So this is the Viveka Chudamani. And many of you, whoever has studied Shankar Bhashya, they know Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, every now and then he mentions Akhyayika to Sukhava Bodhartha. The stories which are mentioned in the Upanishads are to understand the subject which is very complicated, the Klishta Vishaya, the complicated subject, in an easier way, without heating your brains. So we'll also start. Today we are going to discuss the necessity of this particular Viveka Chudamani, the importance, the significance, and all these things as we proceed further, we'll be discussing. But we'll be starting with a story. This particular story comes in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, 2nd chapter as well as the 4th chapter. This is called Maitreyi Brahmana. So this is a very, very famous Upanishad Rishi that which belongs to Upanishad. It's called Upanishad. So this Rishi named Yagyavalkya, one fine day in the morning, he had a wife named Maitreyi. So he says, Maitreyi, Udyasyan vahare aham asmat sthanad asmi. Yagyavalkya, the Rishi, is considered that even though staying in a householder's life, he has realized his one own self. But when you study the scriptures, it is said to enjoy the Jivan Mukta, the joy of being free from all these bondages in this very body is called Jivan Mukta. So to enjoy that bliss, you have to give up all the attachments. You have to take sannyasa. So he says to his wife, addresses to his wife Maitreyi, that I am leaving this place and I am proceeding further into the 4th state, that is Chaturthashrama Sannyasa. And I am severing my connection with you. And Yagyavalkya has another wife named Katyayani. Katyayanya saha antam karvani iti. So I am disconnecting, I am severing my connection with you as well as Katyayani. What was the purpose of this to say? Whatever Yagyavalkya Rishi has earned through dakshinas in his whole life, he wanted to distribute both of them equally. So Maitreyi is Brahmavadini in this. And as well as we get the examples of Gargi as well, but that's a different subject altogether. But here Maitreyi, immediately knowing the intention of Rishi Yagyavalkya, she says that Ya iyam prithvi sarvena vittena purnasyat, sarva vittena purnasyat. If the whole earth is filled with gold or another kind of wealth, will I get immortality? Now you see, there are several points here to just think. First of all, in normal days, in normal life, we are seeing people running behind wealth. Idam me syad, idam me bhavishyati. They are running and running and running. Naturally, we see every day. It's not that we have to try to find it somewhere. It's drishti gocharaha is in front of us. Every day we are seeing people running behind money, wealth, and etc. But here, she is asking, if the whole world, the whole Prithvi Loka is filled with gold or vittaha, vitta is wealth, will I get immortality? Now, the second point to think over here is, who is speaking? Of course, the gross body you can say, which is in front of us, you can only say that. So, how can a person, even a normal person knows that this gross body cannot be immortal? Isn't it? Everybody knows that everyone has to die. Leave this mortal coil at least. Forget about the people, those who know, they say that you are going to leave this mortal coil and go elsewhere. And the people, those who don't know anything about the scriptures, they say, oh, I am going to die. Even though very subtle difference, but both of them know that this gross body cannot be immortal. So what happened when she has asked this question, will I become immortal? Then what was Rishi Yagyavalkya's reply? He said, no. Yatheva upakarnavatam jivitam syat, tathaiva te jivitam syat. However, whatever people, wealthy people will be living, so you will also live accordingly. If today, if a poor person is staying, if he gets like few billions of rupees or few crores of rupees, probably in the lottery or inheritance, what will happen? His lifestyle, he is living with change. But how? He will start living just like a multimillionaire or a billionaire. Yatheva upakarnavatam jivitam syat, tathaiva te jivitam syat. So, but amritatvasya nashasi vittena. But there is not even a single percentage of chance by the wealth to get the immortality. So here the thing is to understand is, she understands, she knows that there is something else apart from this gross body. The gross body in the scripture, it is said that it has 6 kinds of defect. That is, jayate, first it gets birth. Then asti, it is said that it exists. Then vardhate, vardhate is growing up. Viparinamate, it goes on changing. You yourself think, are you the same that you were 10 years back? No, that is viparinamate. Then further and further the body grows, it is said apakshiyate. It starts getting decaying. You get joint pains, you get back pain, and what all this called apakshiyate. And then the end stage comes vinashyati. It gets destroyed. So how can this gross body become immortal? There is something apart from this gross body. So further we'll see that even the performers of the action, they know that there is something apart from the gross body. That's how they are performing. You see, the one who is doing yaga, homa, havanas, etc., doesn't he know that he is going to get the fruit when he leaves this body? He knows, then only he is performing. If he doesn't know, then he doesn't perform. So that is what Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, nahi shastra viditva karma karta kaschit. Means, without knowing the scriptures or the outcome or the free goods, nobody performs an action. Prayojanam anudishya mandopin pravartate. Without knowing the purpose, even the dullard will not engage into a performing of action or anything. So there exists something else apart from this gross body. So that is the viveka which you are seeing in this body. Even though offered the wealth, but what she had in the mind, she wants to get immortality. How that immortality is obtained, that you will be seeing in this Prakarana Granthas, Viveka Chudamani, as well as in Upanishads, etc. It is said. Now, here comes the second question. What is there a need to have a Viveka? Isn't it enough if just the scripture says, okay, you should not run behind or lust behind others, or you should not have greed? Lord Krishna says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavasthito. So the person who does not know the whole scripture, you see, the person who doesn't know, he is safe. The person who knows everything, he is safe. But the person who knows only half knowledge, he is in great danger. So somewhere he has heard that Lord Krishna has said, Tashmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavasthito. Okay, whatever the scripture says, that itself is the proof enough. We don't need to have the viveka. We'll just blindly follow the scriptures. Scriptures have said, Palandum na bhakshed. It has said, you should not eat onions, you should not greed, you should not have lust, and akrodama, satyam, ahimsa, and all these things, whatever the scripture said, we'll try to follow it. But if you don't have viveka, then there was a very, very wonderful experiment which happened in the West. You see what has happened? It is called an experiment of pink elephant. So the speaker on the stage, there were people sitting, just like you are sitting. So he says, imagine a pink elephant. And now nicely imagine that it has a pink tail, pink ears, and all these things he has said. And he said, imagine for it for 30 seconds. Now after that immediately says, you should not think about the pink elephant. Immediately what will come first in the mind? The pink elephant will come in the mind. So this was an experiment to show the impact of the intrusive thoughts which are happening. So now when you see each and every day, we are exposed to so many social platforms. We are seeing the news, we are seeing so many different kind of videos. And what to say about this? We are carrying the past birth impressions from so many births together. So what will happen? All these intrusive thoughts will come and it will not allow us to follow the scriptural teachings as long as you don't have or develop the viveka. Viveka is what, when you say, it is a proper understanding. Now, very simply, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya has explained Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. So, what is eternal? What is non-eternal? To have a clear discrimination in the mind, to have a clarity in the mind, that is called Viveka. So, once you have the Viveka, you will know that whatever the mind is running behind, that is Anitya Vastu. Anityam Asukham Imam Lokam Prapya Bhajasvamam. What Lord Krishna has said, this particular world is Anityam. It is non-eternal. It is not going to remain. And not only that, it is Asukham. Whatever Sukha which you are seeing, that is only Lavakanika Matra. It is only a shadow in the Panchadashi, it is said in the different Prakarana Grantha. It is just a shadow, Chaya, mere shadow of that Brahmana Ananda. We'll discuss also about that later as we proceed further. So, that is Viveka. So, then what Arjuna has said, the state of mind being discussed, Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna pramathi balavadridam. Tasyaham nigraha manye vayoriva shudushkaram. So, when Lord Krishna was instructing Arjuna, then Arjuna says, oh, I find the mind very difficult to control. It is always running behind the material objects. Then you can say, Swamiji, this is not our fault. The scriptures themselves, they say, Paranchikhani vyatiranatayambu tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman. But scriptures also say, Kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanam ekshad avritas chakshur amritatvam icchan. So, there are very, very, very few people, those who are withdrawing the senses from the external material objects and they are concentrating. They are purifying the mind. So, Lord Krishna, what he has replied there, Asanshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam. What you are saying is very true, but what you have to do, Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena cha Grihiyate. That Abhyasa comes from where? It comes from Viveka. What is that Abhyasa? Abhyasa in literal terms, when you literally translate what it is practice. What are you going to practice? You are going to practice this Viveka again and again. When the mind is running behind the material objects, what will you do? You will, in your own mind, you will have the clarity that these are all Anityam, Asukham. There is no joy in this, there is no bliss in this. Imam Lokam Prapya Bhajasvamam. So, getting this human birth, you have to always be in the surrenderance of Lord. And that is Viveka. That's how you will purify the mind and slowly proceed into the Vedanta, etc. So now you can see, very good, you have told what is the need, what is the purpose of Viveka. But how does one get Viveka? How is Viveka born in a person? Then there are two answers for this. One is that all the sukritas which you have done in the previous births, that is all the good deeds which you have done in the previous births, they purify the mind to an extent where you have the thought that, okay, there is something far beyond than this materialistic joy or materialistic happiness. That is one. Second, Goswami Tulsidas ji in Ramcharitramanas says, Bina satsang vivek na hoy. So, without satsang, viveka is not born. What is satsanga? The one, the classes, this Himalaya Rishi Sangamam, what you are attending here, that itself is satsanga. Satam sangaha iti satsanga, it is said. Going into the sannidhi, nearness of the gurus, of the masters, that is satsanga. There you go, you ask all the doubts of your mind and the Guru replies, that is satsanga. In this way, this is particularly the introduction, the need, the purpose of having Viveka and how it is born. And once it is born, then what happens? Hoi Viveka Moha Brahma Bhaga. Goswami Tulsidas ji says, once the Viveka is born in you, and this is the first, Among the Sadhan Chatushtaya, which is discussed in this very Viveka Chudamani, Sadhan Chatushtaya is also discussed. That is Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, and Mumuksha. Viveka is the discrimination, Vairagya is the dispassion or non-attachment, and Shat Sampatti, a set of 6th wealth. That is Shamadama, Uprati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhan. Then the Mumuksha. So this Viveka is the first one. So as soon as the Viveka happens, what happens? You will proceed further in your spiritual journey. It is not that just simply having Viveka Moha Brahmbhaga means it is not that the illusion or the delusion is destroyed and you will get the mumuksha or moksha. That is not the case. But this is the first step in the journey. Just like it is said that Kashyam Maranad Muktihi. Someone somewhere has read in the Purana that if you leave this body in Kashi, you will get moksha. But how it is that if you read the process whole, then you will know that when you leave this body, it is